Imagine waking up one day and your loved one simply vanishes. No arrest, no explanation, and just a terrifying void. This is the chilling reality of enforced disappearance, a human rights violation that has haunted our world for centuries. Today we embark on a journey to understand the International Convention for the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance, ICPPED, a treaty forged in the fires of history to combat this insidious crime. The inherent right to existence. Every human being is born with fundamental rights, the most basic of which is the right to exist. This right entails freedom from arbitrary arrest, detention, and crucially, disappearance. Yet throughout history, governments and other actors have brazenly snatched individuals from their lives, plunging families into an abyss of uncertainty and grief. A global scourge. From the dirty war in Argentina to the ongoing crisis in Syria and Yemen, enforced disappearances have left deep scars across the globe. These acts not only violate individual rights, but also sow fear and destabilize societies. The victims are often human rights defenders, journalists, political dissidents, and even ordinary citizens caught in the crosshairs of conflict. The ICPPED is necessary despite the existence of EDHR, ICESCR, and ICCPR for several compelling reasons. While other conventions broadly address human rights, the ICPPED specifically targets enforced disappearances, a unique and particularly heinous violation. It provides a comprehensive framework for prevention, investigation, punishment, and redress, tailored to the specific nature of this crime. Comprehensive and specific obligations. The ICPPD outlines detailed obligations for states, including criminalization, prevention measures, investigation procedures, victim protection, and international cooperation. This level of specificity strengthens implementation and accountability, ensuring states take concrete actions to address enforced disappearances. Strengthening existing protection. The ICPPED complements and reinforces existing human rights instruments, building on their foundations and addressing gaps in their coverage of enforced disappearances. It provides a more robust and focused tool to combat this specific crime. Addressing impunity. The ICPPED directly confronts the pervasive impunity often associated with enforced disappearances. It mandates states to investigate, prosecute, and punish perpetrators, challenging culture of silence and denial that perpetuate this crime. Recognizing the rights of families. The ICPPD explicitly recognizes the rights of families of victims, including the right to information, participation in investigations, and reparations. This acknowledges the prolonged suffering and trauma experienced by families, ensuring their rights are upheld and their voices are heard. Establishing a dedicated monitoring mechanism. The ICPPED creates a Committee on Enforced Disappearances, a specialized body to monitor state compliance and provide expert guidance. This independent oversight mechanism strengthens accountability and promotes international cooperation in addressing enforced disappearances, symbolizing global condemnation. The ICPPD sends a powerful message of the international community's unequivocal condemnation of enforced disappearances. It demonstrates a collective commitment to eradicate this abhorrent practice, raising awareness and promoting action worldwide. In conclusion, the ICPPD plays a crucial role in addressing the specific challenges posed by enforced disappearances. It complements existing human rights instruments by providing a focused, comprehensive, and actionable framework to prevent, investigate, punish, and redress this egregious violation of human rights. The ICPPED's historical development. A landmark convention, ICPPED's development was ripened by the efforts of victims, families, NGOs, and human rights advocates. Here's a timeline of key milestones. Early recognition. 1978. The UN General Assembly first acknowledges the issue of enforced disappearances and requests further action. 1979 to 1980, the Commission on Human Rights establishes a working group on enforced or involuntary disappearances, UNWGEID, to examine and report on the issue. 1981 to 1984, civil society organizations, particularly FEDEFAM, a Latin American Federation of Family Member Organizations, drafts the first text for a convention against enforced disappearances. However, initial negotiations stalled due to concerns about duplication with existing mechanisms. Building momentum. 1992, the General Assembly adopts the Declaration on the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance, solidifying international condemnation of the practice. 2001, the Commission on Human Rights appoints an independent expert, Malfred Nowak, to assess the effectiveness of existing legal tools in preventing disappearances. His report confirms significant gaps and emphasizes the need for a comprehensive convention. Drafting and adaptation. 2002 to 2006, an open-ended working group supported by NGOs and families drafts the first ICPPD through years of intense negotiations and conciliations. 2006, the General Assembly finally adopts the ICPPD by resolution ARES 61-177, entry into force and beyond. 2010, the ICPPD enters into force after reaching the required number of ratifications. 2023, as of today, 72 countries have ratified ICPPD, with some influential states like France and Germany still holding reservations. Other major states like the US, Canada, Australia, Russia, and China haven't signed it yet. The need for an international response. Faced with a global scourge, international communities saw the need for a comprehensive legal framework to address enforced disappearances. These led to the development of ICPPD, a landmark treaty aiming to prevent, investigate, and punish this crime. Stay tuned as we embark on this important inquiry into the fight against enforced disappearances. Remember, understanding the challenges is crucial to paving the way for a brighter future where every person is protected from the chilling grip of disappearance. Latin America's dark chapter. In the 1960s and 70s, Latin America bore witness to a brutal wave of state-sponsored terror, with regimes across the continent employing enforced disappearances as a tool of political repression. From Argentina's dirty war to Chile under Pinochet, thousands of individuals were abducted, often in broad daylight, never to be seen again. Their families were left in limbo, denied even the solace of a proper burial or password of justice. Beyond borders, beyond decades, while Latin America's struggle brought in the issue to the forefront, enforced disappearances are not confined to a specific regional era. From the Cambodian killing fields to the ongoing conflicts in Iraq and Syria, this human rights violation continues to cast a long shadow across the globe. The methods may differ, but the chilling effect on individuals and communities remains tragically constant. The human cost, shattered lives and an enduring trauma. The impact of enforced disappearances extends far beyond the immediate fact of abduction. Families are left in a state of agonizing uncertainty, grappling with the unknown fate of their loved ones. The psychological scars are deep and enduring, often manifesting as anxiety, depression, and even intergenerational trauma. The absence of closure and the denial of justice compound the pain, making it difficult for families to move on with their lives. Advancing towards a world without disappearances. Grasping the historical context and the profound human toll of enforced disappearances is imperative. It highlights the pressing need for robust mechanisms to prevent, investigate, and penalize these offences. Inter-ICPPED are guiding lights in the battle against enduring violation of human rights. A beacon in the darkness. ICPPED is a landmark treaty in the fight against disappearances, born from years of advocacy and international cooperation to safeguard the fundamental right to liberty and freedom from arbitrary arrest. Seeds of change. The journey to ICPPED took time. Previous instrument lacked provisions for this unique violation. The Declaration on the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance, 1992, laid the groundwork but lacked the binding force of a treaty. Closing the gaps. ICPPED addressed predecessors' limitations by establishing a binding framework for states to prevent, investigate, and punish disappearances. It denies the act in precise terms, encompassing not only the abduction itself, but also the subsequent denial of recognition of deprivation of liberty or hiding the faith of the disappeared person. This broad definition recognizes the complexities of enforced disappearances and challenges in proving them. A journey of collaboration. ICPPED's creation wasn't a solo act, the chorus of voices rising from across the globe. The Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearances, a United Nations body established in 1980, became the driving force behind crafting the convention. Years of consultations with governments, non-governmental organizations, and victims' families shaped the document's content. Milestones on the path. The journey was long and arduous, marked by several key milestones. In 2006, after countless revisions and negotiations, the final text was adopted by the UN General Assembly. This historic moment granted widespread support with 101 countries voting in favor. However, some crucial nations, including major powers, abstained. The reasons for abstention varied, ranging from concerns about sovereignty and reservations about specific articles. Global reach, uneven coverage. Despite the hurdles, ICPPED entered into force in 2010, crucially garnering more ratifications. As of today, over 100 countries have become party to the convention, signifying a growing commitment to combating enforced disappearances. However, notable absences remain, including countries where these violations are prevalent. This uneven global picture highlights the ongoing struggle for universal acceptance and effective implementation. The guiding light of ICPPED. Despite its limitations, ICPPED stands as a significant achievement in the fight against enforced disappearances, establishes a set of universal norms and obligations for states, laying the groundwork for national legislation and investigative mechanisms. Furthermore, it creates a framework for international cooperation and assistance, empowering families of victims to seek truth and justice. A case in point. Take the example of Mexico, a country with a long history of enforced disappearances. The 2012 Ayotzinapa case, where 43 students were abducted and presumed killed, highlighted shortcomings in its domestic systems. However, ICPPED provided a crucial framework for international human rights bodies to intervene and pressure the Mexican government for investigation and reparation. While the case continues to evolve, it demonstrates the potential of ICPPED to hold states accountable and seek redress for victims. In Brazil, a land of sun and samba, chilling truth heights. People vanish, swallowed by silence. This is the grim reality of enforced disappearances. Though the concept exists, Brazilian law doesn't yet recognize enforced disappearances as a specific crime. Instead, there are penalties for state agents who violate individual rights. But justice seems to stand where loved ones simply disappear. Take Jora, for example, a young black woman, vanished one night without a whisper. Our family, our community, left only questions and a gaping hole in their lives. This isn't just Joanna's story. It's a story of countless families, disproportionately from black communities, yearning for justice. Organizations like Connect Us raise their voices, demanding that Brazilian state take concrete action. The fight for answers continues, a fight for recognition, for accountability, for a future where no chair sits empty. Key principles and articles of ICPPED. Navigating the framework. Now that we have explored the historical context and development of ICPPED, let's delve into the core principles and specific articles. These form the backbone of the treaty, outlining the rights and obligations of states in preventing and combating enforced disappearances. Fundamental pillars. ICPPED rests on two fundamental pillars: prevention and prosecution. The Convention compels states to take proactive measures to prevent disappearances within their territories. This includes prohibiting such acts by any actor, investigating alleged cases promptly and effectively, and ensuring adequate safeguards against arbitrary arrest and detention. Shining a light on the darkness. Key articles in ICPPED. Article 1. Defining the act provides a clear definition of enforced disappearance, covering abduction, detention, or hiding by government agents, followed by a denial of recognition. This forms the foundation for understanding and addressing the crime. Article 2. Obligations to prevent and investigate. Article 2 places an obligation on states to take all necessary measures to prevent, investigate, and punish enforced disappearances. This includes establishing effective mechanisms for investigation, providing remedies for victims, and protecting witnesses. The article emphasizes the proactive role that states must play in ensuring that enforced disappearances are actively prevented and, if they occur, thoroughly investigated and punished. Article 3. Article 3 ensures families' rights to know the truth about disappeared loved ones, including details of disappearance and the location of remains. Article 4. Non-derogable nature of the Convention. No derogation is allowed from the provisions of the Convention under any circumstances, emphasizing the importance of preventing enforced disappearances at all times. Article 5. Enforced disappearance prosecution remains open indefinitely, highlighting continuous accountability for perpetrators. Article 6 to 11. Criminalization and sanctions. These articles focus on the criminalization of enforced disappearances, the determination of penalties, and prosecution of individuals involved. Article 12. Right to legal proceedings. Article 12 emphasizes the right of victims of enforced disappearance or their families to seek legal redress. It ensures that victims have the right to an effective remedy before a competent and impartial tribunal, providing them with a legal avenue to address the violation of their rights. Article 13. Article 13 ensures protection of witnesses in cases of enforced disappearance, safeguarding their rights and well-being during investigations. Articles 14 to 15. Rights of victims during investigations. These articles elaborate on the rights of victims during investigation. Article 14 specifies that victims have the right to communicate with their family members, legal counsel, and a medical professional. Article 15 emphasizes that investigations should be conducted promptly and effectively, respecting the dignity and rights of all persons involved. Articles 16 to 18. Legal proceedings and jurisdiction. These articles discuss legal proceedings, including extradition, and address issues related to jurisdiction. Articles 19 to 23. Rights of victims and their families. These articles outline the rights of victims and their families, including the right to know the truth, the right to compensation, and the right to participate in legal proceedings. Article 24. Article 24 establishes the Committee on Enforced Disappearances, defining its functions, composition, and reporting mechanisms to oversee state compliance with the Convention. Article 25. Extradition. Article 25 addresses the extradition of individuals accused of enforced disappearance. It stipulates that enforced disappearance is an extraditable offense between states parties, ensuring that individuals cannot escape justice by seeking refuge in another country. Article 26. Adultere auditare. States must either extradite individuals accused of enforced disappearance or prosecute them. This principle ensures accountability for a crime on a global scale. Article 27. Statute of limitations. There is no limitation for enforced disappearance. It ensures that perpetrators can be prosecuted at any time, emphasizing accountability without temporal restrictions. Article 28. Role of the Committee in individual cases. This article outlines the role of the Committee on Enforced Disappearances in considering individual cases. This committee may receive and consider communications from or on behalf of individuals claiming to be victims of enforced disappearance, providing a mechanism for international oversight and accountability. Article 29. Article 29 empowers the Committee to request state parties to provide clarification or information on measures taken. Article 30. Article 30 empowers the Committee to request state parties to take provisional measures to avoid irreparable harm to the victims during the consideration of their individual cases. This provision ensures that immediate steps can be taken to protect individuals while their cases are under review. Article 31 to 32. Individual communication. Article 31 allows individuals to submit communication to their community, and Article 32 establishes the confidentiality of these communications. Article 33. Inquiry procedure. It allows the Committee to investigate systemic patterns of disappearances, assigning members for a thorough examination in a state party. Article 34. It empowers the Committee on Enforced Disappearances to initiate confidential inquiries based on reliable information about systemic disappearances. Article 35. State reporting. This article mandates state parties to submit periodic reports on the measures they have taken to implement the provision of the Convention. State reporting is a crucial element of the Convention's monitoring mechanism, allowing the Committee to access compliance and provide recommendations. Articles 36 to 37, Summary. Article 36 addresses disputes between state parties, and Article 37 establishes the International Code of Justice jurisdiction for such disputes. Article 38. Amendments. Article 38 outlines the process of amending the Convention. Any state party can propose amendment, and these amendments must be adopted by a two-thirds majority of the state parties. This article ensures that the Convention can adopt to changing circumstances and emerging challenges through a formal and collaborative process. Article 39 to 45, Final Provision. These articles cover miscellaneous provisions, including amendments, procedures, reservations, depository responsibilities, entry into force, and treaty registration. Understanding the challenges. Implementing these articles can vary, posing challenges such as a lack of political will, impunity of perpetrators, fair handling investigations, and reservations by some states. Unflinching pursuit of justice. Despite these challenges, ICPD remains a crucial instrument in a fight against enforced disappearances. It provides a common ground for international cooperation and a platform for holding states accountable. Ongoing struggle for its universal ratification and effective implementation reflects the unwavering pursuit of justice and protection of all individuals from the chilling grief of disappearance. As we conclude our exploration of ICPD, the weight of history and the stark reality of enforced disappearances can feel overwhelming. Yet amid the shadows, glimmers of hope flicker. Seeds of change are sown. While imperfect, ICPD marks a crucial step forward, sparking a global conversation and empowering victims' families. Each article acts as guiding stars toward a future where everyone's right liberty as safeguarded. Understanding the complexities of enforced disappearances is crucial. Even the smallest act of awareness, a conversation sparked, a story shared, contributes to shedding light on this issue. The collectively fight against enforced disappearances is powerful as NGOs, human rights organizations, and international bodies tirelessly pursue justice. Together, we amplify the voice demanding an end to these violations. Beyond borders, beyond generations. The fight against disappearances goes beyond borders and generations, supporting individuals like Missing Persons Day, August 30th, honor the past, empowering the present, and builds a future where no one vanishes. This video isn't just about quick fixes or utopian dreams. It's here to fuel your mind, ignite critical thinking, and spark a passion for justice. Armed with knowledge, we can all be torch barriers against enforced disappearances. Let us remember the victims, hold governments accountable, and walk towards a world where every person, everywhere is protected from the chilling shadows of disappearance.